the near future on planet Earth. Many kinds of creatures once coexisted on this verdant planet. But after countless wars and untold environmental destruction, the planet plunged into an ice age. Humanity was left with no choice but to migrate en masse underground. When the Ice Age finally came to an end, humans began developing methods. While they were living underground to one day restore their planet to the lush green landscape it once was. During this time, a large mysterious comet fell to the Earth. However, the progress of restoring their lost ecosystem was coming along well, and humanity was eventually able to live on the surface again. Several hundred years have passed since then. Enter a young man named Jason Frudnik, known for being a genius in the field of robotic engineering. One day he came upon a creature he had never seen before. No records of this creature existed. With his interest in this mysterious creature piqued, Jason named it Fred and began to observe it closely. But after some time had passed, Fred escaped. Jason gave chase and he observed Fred jumped into a mysterious hole that appeared seemingly out of nowhere. He was rather astonished by this phenomenon he witnessed. But Jason followed Fred down the same hole. He eventually found himself in a cave deep underground. That's where he discovered a large vehicle. Almost as if this vehicle, with the name Sophia 3 on the side, was inviting him in. The door to the cockpit opened up. In order to bring Fred back, Jason hopped into Sophia 3 and set out on his adventure. Little did he know, the strange phenomena were only just getting started. Yeah, sorry for that slow text crawl. Anyways, hi guys, and welcome to a new Let's Play series alongside The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Blaster Master Zero. This came out recently on Steam, which had originally been out on the Switch and 3DS. Anyways, I hope the volume levels are okay. I did do some testing. If not, just let me know and I'll adjust them next time. Anyways, let's not waste any time. Let's get the game started. The plot is actually kind of a mix of the original USA and Japanese versions. And this game is actually a reimagining of Blaster Master, so you're going to see a lot of similarities from that Let's Play. So let's select a new slot, and let's begin. We are now entering Area 1. Ah, familiarness. Nostalgia. They are high as we start the game. Is this one of those underground forest areas they made during the last Ice Age? Hundreds of years have passed, but the ecosystem is alive and well. It would seem that the preservation system is still functioning somehow. Better still, keep my guard up. Never know what could still be here. Oh, you have no idea. Anyways, now we're in full control. I'm not going to bother explaining the controls because yours are going to probably vary from mine, but for me, arrow keys move, Z jump, and C shoots our little gun. The P up there, the green, is our health. If that runs down to 0, you die. This is our special powers meter, or energy meter, whatever you want to call it. S. I'll call it special. It uses our sub-weapons, which I use with V. Now this meter, the blue one right there, will automatically restore itself over time, or you can collect blue power-ups to restore it. So let's get started. Hopefully I'll be able to show it off. Green restores 1 point of health. There are 2 levels of this. There are small and there are large. And there are stupid steals. Alright, watch out. We got a grenader dude. I think his grenades do 2 damage. I haven't gotten hit by them ever, so I wouldn't know. Now watch out for the green dudes. They'll bolt towards you if you above them or below them. Not to the side though, at least I think. Alrighty, everything looks familiar until we get a little further in. Things get remixed a little bit. That was a large blue. It restores, I think, 5 units of special. Or the green was restore 5 units of health. Now this game is actually a bit easier than the original Blaster Master for sure. Though that's kind of up to you to do. You can choose not to use certain things to make it tougher. Fred's signal was definitely being transmitted from the forest area. Receiver was being displayed on the monitor. Guess I'm pretty lucky that Sophia has a functionality like this. With the receiver, I am able to get a general idea of where Fred is. I can't help but wonder how Sophia can track his signal though. Then again, I don't really know how anything in this machine works yet. I think when you don't see his portrait, he's thinking to himself. This is a retry point. If you touch it, it'll save your progress, and if you die, you'll retry from this area. Anyways, there's more to explain. If I hit W, we'll be taken into our menu where we can see our Sophia 3 systems. Let's turn this on. There's no really need to, but we'll have it on for the sake of why not. Anyways, all we have is our normal beam and missiles. Warhead missiles launches 3 missiles in the direction Sophia is facing. Only left and right though. If we hit S on my keyboard, we'll go to our map. That is an extremely useful addition. It'll show all places you've been to, and if you find a map to the area, it'll show everything you can discover. Now over here we have our pilot, Jason. Right now all we have is our basic blaster and our grenades. Now unlike the original, our grenades have a limit, as you can see. We only have 10. But I think they've been made a little stronger to compensate. I'm not sure if you want to quote me on that, but if you do, go ahead. So let's hit space to jump out of our vehicle, let's climb down the ladder, and for the love of God, don't jump down. Your character cannot take a fall, that's for sure. You cannot take damage very well in the overworld either. Anyways, once we enter that cave, we'll leave the side-scrolling view for a top-down Zelda-style view. If we hold S, we'll actually lock our position, allowing us to strafe and fire at the same time. We can fire in all 8 directions. So be sure to use that to your advantage. That pink thing was a weapon power. That'll increase the power of our gun. Take damage, and it goes down by 1 point. No matter how hard the hit, by the way, it'll always go down by 1 point. Let's not get hit by that, and let's pick up his weapon power-up. Now, once you pick up more than one, you can hit your A key or whatever you have it set to switch the power level of your gun. Now, unlike the original, not every power-up is an immediate upgrade. Each power-up has its uses. This is a piercing shot. You can only shoot 2 at a time. You can only have 2 at a time on the screen, but it will pierce through walls and enemies, and it does more damage. The downside is you can't repeatedly fire. You can only have 2 on screen, like I said. As this, you can have multiple. Anyways, we have map 1, a map of the forest area. Press RB on the weapon select screen to view. Or in my case, W. So if you go to our map, you can now see everything we have, but we've already fully explored this place. This little overhead section. I like the music in this game, but I kind of wish they would have implemented remixed original tracks. Because if you like this track right here, this is the only time we're going to get to hear it. It's the only remixed original track they put in the game. Let's climb back into our tank. If you hop in, your pilot will be fully restored. So you take advantage of that whenever you're exploring sub-dungeons and stuff. Because we're going to be exploring a lot of things. Boop. Anyways, let's show off the map to Area 1. This is the forest. If you want to see a key... Oops, wrong button, sorry. The little brownish, yellowish mounds are dungeons. Blue are control room. The retry points are, you know, that. Area points are red. Warp points are gray, which lead to new areas. An exit is something you'll only see in the dungeons. Bosses are where bosses are located, / mini-bosses. Sophia, you won't probably see, because I'll never exit the tank, but if you exit, it'll appear on the map. A little green symbol right there is a life up. There's one right above us, actually, but we can't get to it. And there's a little diamond. That is an item, which is usually an upgrade for either you or your tank. But if you see a boss symbol there, there's probably an upgrade anyways. So let's head on in here. This room is just for powering yourself up. That's what this little sub-dungeon is. Not all of them contain stuff, but it's worth coming in here to get powered up a little bit. So let's head on up. This dungeon is only 2 rooms big. It's full of these guys. As you can see, our fire rate is piss poor with this, but it is stronger. For now, I think it's worth using. Anyways, don't bother exploring all these rocks. Just head up this way, because this is where our power-up is. 2 of them, actually. And there's this little gold chest will restore your sub-weapon ammo. As we got 2 more gun power-ups. Our 3rd is a shotgun or the diffusion. And the 4th is a rapid-fire machine gun. For now, we're going to stick with the piercing shot, because I see no reason to use anything else. Now, videos will be about 15 minutes long. Maybe the first will be a little longer. I doubt it. So anyways, let's head back into our tank, and let's move forward. Yeah, the blues are nice, but they won't be really useful unless you're spamming your stuff. I would highly advise against going into this water as your tank. I'd suggest hopping out, and then heading to the right. Watch out for the mines. I think they do 2 points of damage to a little dude. A lot of things do, actually. Be careful when playing as the pilot Jason in the side-scrolling view. It's very easy for him to get beat the hell up. And his gun isn't the most powerful thing in the world either. So let's enter on in, because there's actually a mini-boss in this area. This dungeon, at least. There is a harder difficulty I could have chosen. Ooh, we got 2 gun power-ups. Pick those up whenever you can. Because now we've unlocked a new level of power. Is there one over here? Nope. Make sure this area is clear. Alright, past the rapid fire, we have Deflect. This will deflect enemy bullets back at them. And this is a lightning gun. You can only shoot one at a time on screen, but if it hits an enemy, it'll chain lightning to other enemies. Pretty useful if you ask me, if you want to do that. Alright, the boss we're looking for is actually up, and I'm going to shoot out these rocks to find any gun power, because I don't remember if they all contain them or not. So let's blast away at the rocks. Damn, I like the power shot. Ooh, nice. 1 more to go. Now that just unlocked a flamethrower. It's stronger than the rapid-fire machine gun, but has shorter range. Pretty useful for tearing away at bosses and certain enemies. Careful though, its range is short, so you're very likely to get hit. Something I want to get though before fighting this boss. If one of these rock formations has a gun power-up. Come on, boys. Is there one here? Hopefully. This is kind of a Metroidvania style game, and that's it. We've unlocked the final gun. Well, this is the flamethrower, by the way. And this is the wave gun. Pretty much the best gun you'll use for any overworld dungeon sections or top-down perspectives. This thing goes through walls, pierces enemies, and it's great at shredding through crap. There's always a retry point before a boss, so that's how you know you're on the right track. So who are we fighting first? Thousand Vios. This actually isn't really a boss, it's a gauntlet. Because that's an enemy we'll meet in the next dungeon area. I don't know why it lagged there for a second. Oops. I got hit like a fool because I wasn't paying attention. I looked at the timer. We'll just have to use the flamethrower. These guys have a lot of health, by the way, the gold ones. And there's varying degrees of these jerks. Also, oh right, the fire will do afterburn. I forgot to mention this gun stuns enemies too. Because it wasn't strong enough. But that's fine if you ask me. You should be allowed to choose how you want to play the game. Do you want it to be easier or do you want it to be tougher? And I like power, damn it. Power is sexy when it involves killing the bad people. Or destroying evil. That was a large. I think it gives 5. Could give 3. Someone quote me on that, please, if I'm incorrect. I've only played through this game once. Yeah, that's how confident I am. Alright, this should be the last wave, I think. We should be nearing the end of this crap. Yeah, there's a lot of these jerks. Yeah, original Blaster Master enemies too. Alrighty, for all our insane efforts, we get Thunderbreaker, a sub-weapon that shoots lightning from directly beneath Sophia. Looks like this chip can restore one of Sophia's functions. The data analyzed by that chip is being displayed inside my helmet. I get the feeling that there are more chips like this out there. It makes me wonder just who in the world made all this tech. Man, I'd love to dig into all this, but I gotta focus on finding Fred. Anyways, when you get one of those chips, you'll be automatically ejected, which is nice. So, I'm gonna meet you guys back at the tank, and what else awaits us here in the forest area? And who's the main boss? Well, find out next time on Let's Play Blaster Master Zero.